This is Abe Friedtanzer from TV with Abe, and I'm thrilled to be speaking with Shila Ommi about her role on Tehran. How are you today, Sheila?
I'm so good. It's great to be speaking with you. Hi.
Of course, I'm a big fan of this show. Can you tell me when you first heard about it and what your reaction was?
First heard about it through my screen husband, Sean Tube. He got the part first. And because we'd already done another TV show on Apple TV together called Little America, we played man and wife. And his name in that show was Faraz as well, which is interesting. So he suggested me, and I think they were interested in going for another actress in the UK. And I ended up auditioning for the part really to make Sean look good because I was so grateful that he's suggesting me, and I got the part, and it's all history from there.
Did you have any idea what Nahid's arc in season 2 would be like when you first started?
Not at all. I didn't even know there was going to be a season 2, but I knew that Nahid in season 1. So before I accepted the role, I was going back and forth. I was a little afraid because I hadn't read all the episodes. I'd read nothing but some sides. So in my Iranian American terrified mind, it's like, what? Some Israeli team is making a show about Iran and calling it Tehran. And I just had no idea. I was a little scared and I hadn't read the episodes. And the director of the show came. His name is Danny Sirkin. He's the director of all the episodes, and he also writes the episodes. He's also in the writing rooms. It's kind of an auteur. And he took Sean and I out to dinner, and he said that, first of all, I realized how much he loves Iranians, the whole team, the whole Israeli team. He was like, people, the world needs to see how wonderful and beautiful people Iranians are. And that melted my heart. And then he told me about the character of Nahid, and that's when I realized that she's not just one of those Middle Eastern placeholders, those ornamental characters that are just there to make the husband give like, oh, this husband is married to this wife, but that she's intricately involved in season 1, and then far more so in season 2.
That's great. And I had a chance to speak with Neve recently, and she mentioned one of the things that you wouldn't realize is that the show is filmed not in Tehran, which I would realize that, but that it's filmed in Athens, and that there was a lot of effort put in to make it look a lot like the real Iran. Does it feel authentic to you?
It does feel, the last time I was in Iran, I was 10 years old, and it was a long time ago. But yeah, it does feel authentic. Greeks are very similar to Iranians in a lot of ways. And so, and for me, because I've been very heavily involved in theater, in Persian theater, we've been touring the globe for audiences that are Iranians and diaspora like ourselves. So being such a lover of theater, it was incredible to me to be going to Athens and to be filming in Greece, the mother of theater. I had a chance for season 1 to go to Epidavros, which is that incredible amphitheater that you go to the middle and you throw a coin and you hear it all the way at the edge of it. It seats 11,000 people, and to know that Epidavros and a lot of theaters in Greece were built to heal people because they believed that if you have a disease, a physical disease, that one way to get at your physical health is to fix your psychic and psychological health. And that's through the catharsis that happens for you in watching live plays.
And
I believe.
Please continue, sorry.
Yeah, I said live plays, but I think also film and television as well. That can be very cathartic and very good for us.
Most of your dialogue is in Farsi. Is it? Do you have to do a different sort of accent for somebody who would have, stayed in Iran?
Absolutely, yeah. Ours are a little too soft from having been in the U.S. so much. Yeah, so it was really important for me to be as authentic as possible. And the years of doing plays in Farsi that forced me to enunciate in Farsi really helped, but I still had to stay on top of those R's and the L, R, and R, and yeah. That
And
was
what kind of
challenging.
reactions have you seen or heard from the Iranian American community?
Thankfully, wonderful reactions. I'm so blessed that people really love the character that I play, and I've gotten a lot of compliments. I'm just happy.
Neve also mentioned that there are people within Iran who seem to be watching the show.
They are, and yeah, and I do get some DMs on Instagram from them. It's wonderful. Neve's wonderful, by the way. I'm sure you know, talking to her. Neve in person is just, you can't get enough of her. She's delicious. She's a delicious human being.
Well, I have to imagine you've interacted with her offset only because your characters don't really get a
Yeah.
chance to be together.
Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. Yeah. But
Well,
yeah, offset. I remember in season 1, I was helping her a little bit with her Farsi, and it was just so lovely to, like, yeah.
well, it's clear that there is a warmth that you share with Sean because, Haraz and Nahid, through all of this, their relationship, I think, really keeps them going more than anything, even though it's obviously very challenging with, international interference and all that. What has it been like working together, especially after you already played a couple in Little America?
Lovely. Sean is such a lovely human being, and he doesn't have what we call in Persian is khurde shishe. There are people who have like glass shards in them, but they look very nice, but you get too close and it's like, owie. And Sean is just a straight, good human being. I mean, upright. By straight, I mean up, just solid. And so it's just been lovely working with him, and I'm so grateful to him because I wouldn't be in Tehran had he not mentioned me. So
That's wonderful. And it's clear that this show is very substantial. There's a lot to talk about that we could go, this long without mentioning Glenn Close, who obviously is a major addition for season 2.
Yeah, and I love that season 2 that women are even more in the forefront than they were in season 1. In season 2, the head of Mossad is a woman, Yulia, played so beautifully by Sarah Van Schwarz. Glenn Close is incredible. She really carries a significant amount of the show on her shoulders. She's amazing. My character Nahid is really having a dramatic change as she gets over she gets her self-confidence back after having some severe PTSD and agoraphobia. So it's a very woman-centered show. And I love that about the show, and it's especially so in season 2.
And at the point that we're talking, there are still 2 episodes left in season 2. Without giving anything away, do you think that audiences will be satisfied?
Absolutely. I know one of my favorite episodes was episode 7, and there's 8 episodes. So it's that was one of my favorite. I'm just reading it, not even watching, reading it. When I got to the end of that episode, I had to physically shut my mouth. They're so good, the writers of this show. They're just so good. And Daniel Sirkin, I mean, directed all the episodes, every single episode. It's like he's an auteur because he's also in the writer's room. So, he's like created 2 8-hour feature films. That's amazing.
For those who haven't seen the show yet, do you think that they should just catch up in a day or 2 on everything, or is it better to spread it out over the course of a few weeks?
If you have time, spread it out in the course of a few weeks, because it is an intense show. I mean, it's intense, as you know, it's nail biting. It's at the edge of your seat. It feels like a thrilling roller coaster ride, and you do have to read subtitles because there's 3, sometimes 4 different languages being spoken at once. So, but if you read those subtitles, as you know, it really pays off. But I would spread it out if you can. But if you have the time to binge away, because it just keeps paying off. It keeps paying off.
I will note that, I know it's an Israeli production, obviously it takes place in Iran, but I like the fact that there are different languages, because I think it could have been very easy to have this all be in English or all be in Hebrew or something. And I think I really appreciate the fact that people are speaking the languages they would speak, which also means sometimes they speak other languages just because, English can be an international language and all that.
Yeah, yeah, I love that too. I feel like it's such an important show because it shows that even though aspects of our cultures might be completely different, it's a show that examines our collective humanity. It's a show that allows you to in one instant hate a character and then fall in love with that character. Um, so I think that's so important. I feel like it's part of um, our process of evolving as human beings is to be able to look at different cultures and try to understand each other.
Of course. Do you think there are any other shows out there that are doing that well right now?
I think Little America is a really wonderful example of that. And again, yay, Apple TV. I'm so proud of Apple TV. Really, I feel so fortunate to be on this platform. They're so, they're creative and they're innovative. And I love that they are all over the world. So what I do, as I said, I've done plays. There have been times where there were 2 people in the audience. So to be on a platform that is in, I think, 130 different countries that it's streaming in, it really feels amazing to have a global audience.
Yeah. Do you think that there will be a season 3, and would you be interested in being involved?
I will absolutely be there in a heartbeat if there's a season 3.
That's great. And
There's some plot.
is there anybody in the cast, aside from Neve, obviously, who you would love to have Nahid interact with that just hasn't been part of the script?
I would have to go with Neve right now. Listen, it was so amazing. The actors on the show, it was so incredible to see so many wonderful Iranian actors that are all in exile like myself and in diaspora, and they're so funny and wonderful. I'm just not sure how much we can share about who's going to be who I'll be able to interact with. So I don't want to say too much.
No, of course, of course. So I always want to ask good questions, but not the questions can't be too good because then we'll get into territory that we can't cover. So what else are you working on at the moment?
At the moment, I'm, for those friends that are in LA, the Getty Villa in LA has a wonderful Persian exhibition of ancient Persia, and I've done the voiceover for that. So that's going on until August. I also directed a film during the pandemic that is going to be coming out. It's called Wake Up Sleeping Beauty. And this film it was a dream of mine several years ago to work with 2 friends of mine. One of them is a mythologist and one is a therapist and a writer. And my dream was to work with them to create a play that brings in aspects of psychology and aspects of mythology so that people could come and watch and have a catharsis and I don't know, that it would be good for people. And it came true in the form of the LA Department of Mental Health commissioned a play that my friend, the therapist Mastana Moqaddam wrote, and she was in collaboration with my other friend Mariam Sayed, who's she's got a PhD in mythology, and I directed it. I was supposed to direct it as a play, and COVID happened, so the department said, "Well, we can't do a play. You want to do a Zoom play read?" And my dear friend and a creative partner is a film genius. His name is Hitoshi Inoue. So I said, Hitoshi and I together as a 2-person team can turn this into a feature film. The department said the only way is if no 2 of the actors are ever in the same house together or even in the same room with you, the director or the camera person. What are you going to do? So what we did was I turned my living room into a green screen studio. Hitoshi set up 2 cameras. From the dining room with masks on, I would direct them. I gave them eye lines. Hitoshi took the footage, each actor together, put it together seamlessly. So this is a film that has won several awards at many film festivals. I mean, over 10. And people watching would not believe until they get to the end credits that these actors have never met one another in person. It looks like there's 4 people in one room having incredible chemistry, and it's a film called Wake Up Sleeping Beauty. It's based on the mythology of the Sleeping Beauty mythology that Mariam Sayed brought in, and it's in Persian with English subtitles, and we're planning on having a screening of it. It's going to be shown for free because we just wanted to offer this for free to help people. Even though it's in Persian and it deals with an Iranian American woman dealing with her Iranian American psychoses, it is universal. So on my Instagram, I think I'll be posting when we might have a screening of it if anyone wants to see.
Wonderful.
Later on as we get closer to it.
That sounds really fascinating, and I wish you plenty of luck with that and with the end of this season of Tehran, and hopefully much more after that.
Thank you so much, Abe. It was such a pleasure to talk to you. I hope I didn't talk your ear off.
No, this was wonderful. Thank you so much.